Welcome everyone to another quick video. This time we're going to talk a little bit about the research video that hopefully you watched before this, but if not, that's okay. And then also about your annotated bibliographies. So annotated bibliographies can feel like busy work or like somebody's just checking in on your research or something like that, but they are so important and they are really for you. So really consider your future self as you compose these, because that's who benefits from this work you're doing. So yes, it is a lot of work because you're reading a lot of articles. First you have to sort of look through a lot of articles, a lot of research, and figure out what's going to best support you. You can't just pick the first 5 you come across. You need to really think about where you need support. So, think about it as your essay, your project is a conversation. You have this idea, and it always helps to have people come in and back you up, but it's still your idea. So you have this main idea about a specific topic in a specific community with a specific focus. And then you're having experts in a more general field, different fields, come in and support you. So maybe fields of anthropology or sociology or science or technology, right? All of these different experts are coming in and they're supporting what you have to say. So that's, really what these secondary sources are doing for your work. If you have further questions about that, feel free to email me, and we can talk about a little bit more about how to use secondary sources. I think for the most part, you all will not struggle too much with this. Mainly I'm concerned as you research that you keep in mind that you need to look through a lot of sources and evaluate them before you can choose the ones that are going to best serve your purpose. And even after you finish the annotated bibliography, as you're composing project 2, you might realize you need to go back in and find more sources. I suggest, even for those that you find after this assignment is due, after Sunday, that you still annotate them. This is just an immensely helpful tool. Once you get into the swing of it, once you realize how helpful it is, you'll start doing it with everything in life. Anything you read, just quickly summarize and evaluate it. It doesn't have to be just for academic purposes. This is just a really handy way to remind yourself, your future self, of what you've written, and what you've read, not just what you've read, right? It's not just a summary of this is what you read. It's how you're responding to it in light of your project. So I said this in the email I sent out to you, but I want to say it again, that you please not just summarize these sources, but also evaluate them in light of how you're using them. At the end of the email, there are some links to some examples, and then of course you've seen some examples through the course shell as well. And if you'd like to see more, or if you'd like to send me some of what you're writing before Sunday, I really, really suggest doing that, because once you get into the rhythm of it, it's quite easy, but it's such a foreign genre to work in if this is your first time, and so I highly suggest sending me samples throughout the weekend of your annotations. So do that, as soon as possible. Just, do one real quick and send it to me. Make sure it's formatted correctly according to APA standards. And that can be found on the OWL site as well as in the course shell. So that's the main thing to keep in mind, is that you're summarizing and evaluating. I really can't stress that enough. So ideally you have 2 paragraphs, one that summarizes. Again, you're not summarizing every single point, you're hitting on those main points as they relate to your topic, and then you're evaluating based on your topic. So maybe you agree with the author, maybe you disagree, but tell us why and where and how you deviate from what they're saying, what evidence do you have? And this will help you, you can take a lot of this and put it directly into your paper when you go to write. You'll have to change it a little bit, of course, but it's just an incredibly useful tool. Okay, so that's the main thing about that. If you have other questions, let me know. As you're looking for keywords, here's what I suggest. Write a short summary of your topic with all the main points as you currently see it. Then read your summary and identify 3 words or short phrases that summarize that summary. And those 3 words or sets of words, those are the keywords that you want to use when you're searching for sources. In addition to generating those 3 keywords, you want to think of different ways to say those 3 keywords. So in the example video, the screencast video I have for you, I think about how many ways there is to say woman, right? Female, women, right? There are lots of different ways. If I wanted to broaden it out, maybe I could say disenfranchised or minority or, so you want to think very creatively about keywords, not just I'm writing about women, right? Maybe, there are a lot of intersex between women and minorities, and so you want to at least look for that research and see if there's anything out there. So when you're creating those keywords, so summarize your topic, choose 3 words or phrases that summarize that summary, and then not just synonyms, right? Don't just open up a thesaurus and look for synonyms for each of those 3 words. Actually think creatively about different ways to say them. So again, if you want help with that, email me your summary, email me the 3 words or phrases that summarize your summary, and then we can kind of brainstorm different keywords that you can use. And you want to use all those keywords. Which brings me to my final point, which is that and I tell myself this every time I sit down to research, and half the time I don't do it because either I'm being lazy or I think, I'll remember. And I guarantee you, every time. So 50% of the time I don't do this, and 100% of the time I wish I did. And that is record somewhere on a piece of paper or on a document somewhere, record the pathways of research you're doing. So say, write the date and the time and say I went into Academic Search Premier, I did these 3 words, here's what came up, or at least record that you used those 3 words. And then, go back, search again, and maybe you changed it a little bit. You added an S, or you changed the and to an or you used the asterisk tip that I talked about in the other video and the email. Whatever it is, record exactly what you're doing somewhere so that you remember you did that. And then you don't have to do it again, right? Because you don't want to keep searching, hoping to find more, but you're doing the same search over and over again. Or you want to remind yourself that, that search was really successful, and maybe you need to go back and search differently, but using those same keywords or something like that. So please keep those things in mind. All right, I think that that's it for now. I feel like there's so much I want to tell you about this topic, but I want to keep it, as brief as possible. I love doing this. So again, please take me up on, assistance with research. It's really fun. And once you get into the hang of it, it really is fun. So it's not just because that's my career. It really is. I've had a lot of experience with people who, after they figure out a few tricks and things like that, it really is like Sherlock Holmes type of experience. So, yeah, that's it for now. I hope you found this helpful. I hope you reach out to me this weekend, and I hope you're having a great day. All right, bye.